It's Nick's Psychtronic History of Sci-Fi. Philip K. Dick was a very sick man. He often wrote stories about people who couldn't distinguish what was real from what was a fabrication, and most often came to the conclusion that it ultimately didn't matter. He wrote about these things because, well, it happened to him. He often thought he was some kind of a robot or trapped in a parallel universe, or what would have happened if he hadn't been in the right place at the right time. He also dropped a lot of mescaline, but he was thinking that way long beforehand. He had some of the best titles this side of Heinlein, like We Remember It For You Wholesale and Confessions of a Crap Artist, though perhaps his most famous novel was Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which was of course turned into the 1982 film Blade Runner. It's the story of a bounty hunter who tracks down humanoid robots and kills them, examining the morality of killing something that might or might not be alive. The only novel for which he won a Hugo Award was The Man in the High Castle, one of the first novels to speculate on what would have happened if the Nazis had won the war. Dick certainly believed in things like the government was hunting him, that he was receiving messages from outer space, and that people were not who they said they were. But all this was completely trumped by the time he saw a reflection off of a cross around someone's neck and claimed that it formed a pink beam that mesmerized me. He then began to think he had clairvoyance and suspected that his infant son was ill. He rushed him to the hospital and discovered that he was right. For about a month, he experienced strange hallucinations, like Jesus was talking to him and showing him windows into the past, where he saw ancient Rome and began to think that he was the reincarnation of a man persecuted in Rome. He would sometimes claim it was just acid flashbacks hitting him at weird times, but would often relent that he really thought it was a vision from God. Like I said, Dick was a sad, not very well soul who lived in poverty most of his life and died right before he would have become majorly famous. However, he wasn't deterred, and you can still read all the books he managed to crank out of his lifetime if you're interested. I don't personally like Dick's work. I find it kind of hard to follow. Schizophrenics will do that to you. But if you want something out there, a kind of mainstream science fiction like Robert A. Heinlein, Phil's the man. And if the band you're in starts playing